The release of FM23 is edging closer, and I'm back again to help you with more potential save ideas. Today the focus is on sides expected to be in relegation scraps, and I'll be giving you my top 3 to try and lead to survival, as well as my reasons why. If you like the sound of that, then please do like the video and subscribe for daily Football Manager content. All the key playlist links are up in the eye above, and that includes last week's top 3 with more save ideas. Links to everything else is down in the description below. But let's turn our attention to survival challenges. Here's the first team you might want to help keep up. At number 3, let's start with the obvious one, shall we? Drumroll please. Yes, it's the much discussed returning Premier League team, Nottingham Forest. Now this might not seem like the most imaginative suggestion, but there is some logic behind it, I assure you. The summer started so positively for the Reds. A stunning return to England's top tier after 23 years away was secured in a championship playoff final in May. It completed a remarkable job from Steve Cooper, who took over with Forest bottom of the table early in the season. What's happened since, though, can only be described with one word: chaos. 21 new signings arrived through the door this summer transfer window, with an astonishing level of spend on players for a newly promoted club. What does this do for you in Football Manager though? Well, if you like wheeling or dealing, you can forget it for a start. Virtually the whole squad is new, which means you'll find it very difficult to get anyone out of the club during the first transfer window. Budgets, you would assume, must also be low after such expenditure, with both the wage bill and FFP rules sure to cause problems if you don't stay up in the first season. On the pitch though, we know the impact of dynamics and morale on results in Football Manager. We'll try getting 21 new players to gel quickly at the start of a Premier League season, particularly if you have a tough start and lose some games. It's an obvious suggestion, Nottingham Forest, but a potentially really interesting challenge, one that's made particularly difficult if you start as a lower reputation manager. Can you keep Nottingham Forest up after their long-awaited return to the English top flight? If that one's not for you, then let's move on to number 2. At number 2, is a side that involves points deductions. Drum roll please. Yes, it's the second week in a row we've got an entry from the French second tier, and this time it's Saint Etienne, a club that were used to dining at the top table of French football, regular Ligue 1 title winners in the 1960s and 70s, with a Champions League final during that period too. There's no doubting that this club have a very rich history. They played in Europe as recently as the 1920 season, when things really started to go wrong for the club. After narrow escapes during the 2 pandemic hit years, St Etienne finally succumbed to relegation from the top tier last season. A lack of investment due to owners wanting out and a dismal start under Claude Puel combined to secure their fall last year. What's worse? They start this season with a 3-point deduction, that due to fan behaviour in the game that secured their relegation. The first team has been completely obliterated and the club have started pretty poorly again. If their financial situation is depicted realistically in game, this one could be very tough. You might also experience an early transfer embargo and be relying on a kind takeover to boost your survival hopes. Overall, it's full of uncertainty and jeopardy, and that makes for plenty of fun. With that done though, let's move on to number 1. And in pole position, I had to pick a side appearing in their nation's top flight for the very first time, didn't I? Final drum roll please. Did you get the F1 related clue? It's AC Monza. Having won the Serie B playoffs just 2 years after returning to Italy's second tier, it's been a very strange summer at this club too. Similarly to Nottingham Forest, our third place side, there's been an almost complete revolution of the first team playing squad. Notable names coming in include Pablo Mari on loan from Arsenal and Stefano Sensi on loan from Inter Milan. Off the pitch are where things really get juicy though. Monza are owned by controversial former Italian Prime Minister and AC Milan owner Silvio Berlusconi. Perhaps that describes some of the slightly erratic decisions already seen this season off the pitch. Promotion-winning manager Giovanni Stroppa lasted just 6 games as Rafael Palladino replaced him at the club, at the time sitting on just 1 point after their first 6 matches. As I record this video though, Monza headed into the September international break with a famous win against Juventus in their new manager's first game. Following that, experienced defender Andrea Ranocchia, some of you may remember him from Hull in England, left the club just 3 months after arriving by mutual consent. If you can keep up with the pace of changes, this save could be a great challenge. You'll find financial income is restricted by a low capacity, albeit beautiful stadium. Add to that an imbalanced and limited playing squad, and you'll have your work cut out to keep Monza in Serie A beyond their debut season in the top division. So those are my top 3 survival challenges, but do any of these potential relegation battles take your interest? Let me know in the comments below, as well as any other clubs you'd put in the same bracket. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay up to date with all of my daily FM content, as well as more of these save idea videos every week and my FM23 series announcements, which are coming soon. However, if you prefer the challenge of managing a fallen giant instead, then click the video next to my head now.